KonoSuba might be one of the biggest scams in the Isekai genre because it looks like a typical power fantasy, then immediately throws the entire formula into the trash. No overpowered hero, no perfect party, no serious chosen one nonsense, just 4 disasters somehow trying to survive another day. KonoSuba follows Kazuma Satou, a shut-in who dies in the most ridiculous way imaginable and gets reincarnated in a fantasy world. His new life should be amazing, except he ends up stuck with Aqua, Megumin, and Darkness. They sound like a dream team. They're not. Aqua is powerful but hopeless. Megumin has exactly 1 spell. And Darkness is, well, Darkness. Kazuma may have the brains, but even those are questionable. And that's the secret sauce. KonoSuba isn't really about becoming the strongest hero. It's about watching a dysfunctional group fail upward in the funniest ways possible. One hidden strength of KonoSuba is how cleverly it mocks Isekai tropes. The story takes familiar ideas, cheat skills, fantasy quests, legendary weapons, demon kings, and asks, what if these things were actually incredibly inconvenient? Kazuma is the perfect anti-mech. He's clever, selfish, cowardly, and occasionally straight up awful. But that's exactly why he works. Instead of plot armor carrying him, Kazuma survives through strategy, luck, and questionable decisions. Then there's the animation. KonoSuba doesn't always chase polished Sakuga like Ufotable or Mappa. In fact, characters can intentionally look hilariously distorted. Those exaggerated faces aren't a flaw, they're part of the comedy language. The real beauty comes from timing. A character's expression changes at exactly the right moment. A dramatic scene suddenly collapses into stupidity. A powerful spell becomes a punchline. KonoSuba understands that animation isn't only about looking pretty, it's about making the joke land. And then there's Megumin's explosion. Every time she screams her iconic spell and the screen erupts, the series suddenly remembers, oh right, we can actually make this look incredible. The world itself also hides more depth than the comedy suggests. KonoSuba has gods, demons, reincarnation, magical artifacts, adventurer guilds, and an entire fantasy society operating beyond Kazuma's party. Even the characters who look like walking jokes can have surprisingly serious motivations. That's why the cast works so well. Beneath the memes, there's actual character chemistry. The light novel is also much richer than what the anime can show. Fans have pointed out that the adaptation leaves out details, side adventures, and character introductions. Wiz, for example, had material rearranged or omitted, while other side characters receive more development in the novels. And here's another interesting fact. KonoSuba's anime journey has had a surprisingly long history. Season 2 aired in 2017, followed by the 2019 movie and the Megumin spin-off in 2023, before Season 3 finally arrived in 2024. That long gap became a running frustration in the fandom. One highly upvoted fan discussion literally revolved around how crazy the wait for Season 3 had become. The hardcore fandom generally agrees on one thing: KonoSuba is at its best when it embraces its chaotic comedy. On Analyst, the series is heavily tagged as Isekai, parody, satire, slapstick, and anti-hero, basically a checklist of everything it does differently. But it's not universally loved. Some viewers find the humor repetitive, immature, or simply not funny. Others prefer more serious Isekai like Ray, Zero, or Mushoku Tensei. That criticism is fair. KonoSuba absolutely isn't trying to be everyone's kind of anime. Season 3 also received mixed adaptation discussions from light novel readers. Some praised its stronger respect for the source material, while others criticized cuts to certain scenes. Still, its staying power is undeniable. Season 3 was nominated for Best Comedy and Best Isekai Anime at the 2025 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. So here's the mind-bending part. KonoSuba became successful by doing the exact opposite of what most Isekai anime try to do. It doesn't make its heroes cooler, it makes them messier. It doesn't remove the genre's clichés, it weaponizes them. And that's why, years later, KonoSuba still feels different. The series isn't asking, what if you became the strongest person in another world? It's asking something much more dangerous. What if you got everything you wanted, and your biggest problem was your own party?